Okie dokie. So I am kind of excited to make this collage today because I'm going to do something that I've not done with you on this channel yet. It's something I want to start doing more often, which is working in a sketchbook as opposed to creating a singular collage that stands alone. This particular sketchbook is handmade by me. Let me just put this stuff aside for a moment so I can show you. Got my little clippies in here. So this is what I call a visual journal. And if you can see here, this is a spot for a stamp. And that's because the cover of the journal is a giant envelope. And the pages inside are also envelopes. If you're into bookmaking, then let me know in the comments. I plan on creating a future video where I walk through the process of making one of these books. So you can look forward to that. All right, let's jump in. I'm putting on these clips because it helps keep the pages flat, especially once I start adding mixed media to them. Anyway, you may have noticed that I'm narrating this video using a voiceover. For one thing, it is a very hot day here in Los Angeles, so I've got my windows open and my fans going, and that creates a lot of noise. But also, as I was creating this 2-page spread, I was initially thinking out loud as I was making until I started to really think about the value that I intended to explore here, and that was peace. So in that moment, I decided to stop speaking and simply allow myself to fall into a flow where I could find peace in becoming totally present with what I was doing. So what I brought with me today is this photograph of me at an apple farm in Ohio, a piece of found fabric, paint on paper, paper from a project I did 12 years ago. It kind of reminds me of the hair in this photograph. And more of that paper. Gosh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, this is a paper towel with paint on it. This is raw canvas with printmaking ink on it. This is marker on paper. This is paint on paper. This is more paint on paper. But I used bubble wrap to stamp these polka dots. And this was a poster board that I had on my desk a while ago while I did Zoom classes with grade schoolers. Of course, over time, this large piece of paper became covered in random multicolored crayon marker and colored pencil marks. Oh, and this pretty little thread that I found in my sewing kit. Today I'll start with the photograph because it feels very dreamy and kind of inspiring to me. So I'm just going to play around with these pieces. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but I'll try a few different things and then just go for it. See where it takes me. I think I have a lot less to say about peace because it's one of those things that I just don't intellectualize, I guess, as much as I do other values like communication or inclusivity or balance. It's kind of more something you have to experience. I'll try to describe it. It's like stillness, mental stillness, physical relaxation, consciousness, awareness, but also lightness, it's just being. Just being. And I'm not speaking of happiness. I am speaking of peace and stillness, acceptance, appreciation, consciousness, and calmness. I think it's very fitting for me to think about peace and explore that in this visual journal, because visual journaling is something that's very near and dear to my heart. It's the first art form that I really fell in love with. It's funny, I used to visual journal a lot, but once I learned how to paint, I made that my primary focus while mixed media took a back seat for several years. And then I went to grad school, and my passion for mixed media came full circle, and that became my go-to again. Maybe someday I'll make a video where I give you a little sketchbook tour of my old journals. I think that would be interesting. Well, I feel like this is a good place to end. Apologies about how poorly centered my camera is. Here we go. I love this, and I love that you are able to join me for this experience. So, thanks for hanging out with me throughout this process. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, then please leave a comment below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. You won't miss a thing. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.